Hello everybody, welcome to the channel, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to download and install R and RStudio on your computer. These are two important tools for data science, statistics, analytics, and just coding in general. Now, if you're new to this or if you're setting it up on a new computer, I'm going to be giving you a step-by-step guide to follow so that you're going to be able to code and use R in no time. So downloading R and RStudio is actually very simple. You're just going to want to go to Google and type in RStudio. Once you get there, you're going to want to click on the Posit website. If you scroll down just a little bit, you'll see step 1, install R, and step 2, install RStudio. We're going to want to first install R, so we're going to click on this button right here. Now, once you get here, this is the CRAN website where a lot of R information and packages are stored, but we're just going to want to look at the download and install R section. Once we get to this step, you're going to want to download R based on what type of computer you have. If you're using Linux, Mac, or Windows, choose that respective download. For me, I'm using Windows, so I'm going to click on this one. Once you get here, there's a little bit of information, but right up in the corner, you're going to see install R for the first time, which is what you're going to want to click on. Once you get here, you're going to see a download right here that is the current version of R for whatever you're using. You're going to want to click on this. As you can see, a download popped up in the corner, and you're going to want to click on it. Now, you want this to be able to make changes to your computer so that you can actually download R, so click yes. I'm going to be using English. And right here is some general licensing information. If you want to read this, go ahead, but for the sake of the video, I'm going to skip it. You can save your file wherever you want. However, I just let it do whatever installation pops up on this. Now, I currently already have this folder because I have downloaded R already, but I'm just going to click yes so that it does it anyways. Next. Now, if you're just looking to download and set up R, I would just hit no on this and continue. However, if you want some sort of customized startup, go ahead and click yes. Once you get to this step, you can change a couple of these boxes by clicking on them. However, the ones that are usually already filled out are the ones you're going to want. You are definitely going to want this one clicked so that you know where the download is going to show up once you're done, and it'll show up right on your desktop. Once R is finished installing, you can click this finish button and you're going to be all set. Now we're going to want to go back to RStudio in the Posit and get to step 2, which is install RStudio. If the version that you're using is right here, go ahead and click on it. However, if there is a problem and you're using, say, Mac and it says Windows, you can just scroll down here and there's a bunch of different downloads right through here. You're going to want to pick the one that is specific to your device and then start the download. Go ahead and click on the .exe file and let the download start. Of course, we want it to be able to make changes to our device, so we're going to hit yes. Once again, we're going to go through the next, and we're not actually going to hit or change anything that it's given us. We're just going to want to click the highlighted blue buttons. Once the installation is complete, go ahead and click finish. Once you've completed all the installations, you can go back to your desktop and you'll find the R symbol somewhere. Now, you're not actually going to want to click on this. You're going to want to find your RStudio wherever that might be. Once you've found your RStudio, go ahead and click on it. Once you make it to this point, you're inside of RStudio and you can begin to use it to code or use it for whatever purpose you had initially. I'm going to give you guys a quick rundown of what each of these areas is for and how you can begin to code. So first things first, this area over here is going to be your script or your markdown file, whatever it is that you want to write your code on without executing it right away. Mine right now has a script popped up, but for some reason, if yours doesn't, you can always click right up here and start by opening one. Next, down here, we have the console, which is where all of the information from your script is going to be output once you run it. This is also another area where you could type code. However, the code that you type in here won't be saved, and it's just like a one-time use. Up here on the right is your environment. This is where your variables, your functions, everything like that is going to be saved so you can see what you currently have without having to scroll through your script or code. Down in this right corner is all of the extra information, such as the files that you're currently working with. This is where some plots may show up whenever you run your code, packages that you can download, and a couple other tabs for help or presentations. Over in this pane, you're most likely only going to be using the files, plots, and packages for the most part. Just so you guys get a better understanding of what I'm talking about, I'm going to bring you through a quick example to show you how to use RStudio. So first, I want to assign a variable x with the value 5. Once I run it here, you can see that it shows up in the console saying that I performed this action. And over in the environment tab, you can see that my variable x now has the value of 5. Because this is a variable, it shows up in my environment so that I can remember it for later. These three areas are what's going to be used the most while coding. Now let's also create another variable called y that is stored with the value of 9. Here you can see that I performed the action and it saved my variable and its value. Now I mentioned before that whenever you run something up here, it'll show up down here, but you can also use this to do some sort of calculation or some sort of code. So if I, for some reason, want to demonstrate what the value of y is, I'll type in y and I'll hit enter. As you can see, the value of 9 popped up and it showed me what was contained within my variable. I can also create new variables or other information down here in the console. So let's say that z is going to be assigned with the value of 2. Once I run that, you can see that it clearly worked because my environment now shows up with z and 2. Now I know this was a very quick introduction, however I made this video for the sole purpose of teaching people how to get R in RStudio so that they're able to use it for whatever they want in the future. If you guys do want a video showing how to actually code in RStudio or for specific information in RStudio, be sure to comment that. And if you guys did enjoy or learn something new from this video, be sure to hit like and subscribe. Thank you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.